What's up everyone, Eric John here for yet another exciting YouTube video. So today we're going to do a little work on the STI. So I'm going to walk out there. I'll take it this way. In the laundry room here, sorry about that, inside my neck. The keys, get my Harley keys. I got to move, my Harley's in the way of my actual stand, so I got to get that out. And then I have my floor jacks back there in the corner as well. But here's the STI. Let me go ahead and flip it around. 2004 platinum silver metallic. Has the JDM spec C wheels. And I'll do another video kind of go over everything that's done to it. But then I have the Harley sitting in the back there. So I get my floor jacks from behind the Harley, so I got to move the cars around. But let's do a little startup of the STI. So let me put this thing down. Video for you guys. And this is the APS exhaust. Also has APS downpipe and APS cold air intake. So I'm going to start it up. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull it back around real quick. So get that, and then I get the Harley out of the way. So I'm going to start. I'll be back in a few. Alright, so I just moved it. We're going to let that warm up some. I'm going to go ahead and move the Harley, which is right over here in the corner. So it's just tucked away at the back there. So the garage, I wish I had a little bit bigger garage, but it works for now. But let me go ahead and fire this thing up. It's going to be a little bit louder, so it's going to drown out the Subaru, but go ahead and start it up. Sorry if this is kind of blown out here. I know the exposure is going to be pretty bad, but I had to step out so you can actually hear me. So I'm going to move my Harley out of the way, get my actual stands out, and get my floor jacks out so I can get the car set up. I do have ramps, but my car sits too low, so I can't just drive up on them. But I'm going to go do that, move the Harley out, and then maybe do a time lapse, or just kind of do like some shots here and there of me actually doing the oil change, which I know everybody's already seen those. So. But I'm going to go ahead and get started, go over the tools you'll need, and what oil I'm going to be using for the Subaru. that makes the Subaru sound so quiet, but what I'm gonna do is just let the Subaru warm up a little bit, get it to temp, and then that's better light there. But what I'm gonna do is go over what I'm gonna be using real quick. Let me put the camera down, and then I'll just shoot myself going over all the stuff we're using for the oil change. Alright, so what I'm going to be using as far as oil, I got the Castrol Edge. It's the European blend or European formula. It's a 0W40. So have that. This is the 1.25 US gallon, which is 5 quarts. So pretty much put all of this in the Subaru. The other thing I like to use, I like the complete fuel system cleaner, the Techron. So after I change the oil, I'll run to the gas station, fill it up because it definitely needs some gas. Other than that, I just have the standard Subaru oil filter. So Super Blue, I always like to go with the Subaru filter. You can also use, a lot of people use the Wix filters. Other than that, I would stick to either the Subaru. If it was me personally, I'd use the OEM ones like this. If not, I heard you can get away with using the Wix filters as well. As far as tools, you'll just need a standard socket. I have the 12mm on here right now, so all the little bolts that hold on the plastic shield underneath the car uses a 12, and then you'll use a 17mm for your drain plug. So, and then the other thing I have is a pick, which the little push pins that Subaru likes to use are a pain in the butt. So I have the little pick here, which has a curved end, which makes it real easy just to kind of get in there and finesse those things out. But what I'm going to do is probably set up, maybe do a time lapse. But again, my car sits too low. I have ramps. I know I could probably modify them so I can drive up on them. But I also have 2 floor jacks. So what I do is I just take my floor jacks, lift up from each side, and I slide my ramps underneath there. So it's all good to go. But I'm going to go ahead and get under the car. We'll get my ramps out, get under the car, go ahead and lift it up, and then maybe shoot a video. I might try to get the camera underneath the car, but again, it's pretty easy. You just look at the bottom of your actual drain pan, and it's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it right now, and then when I get it back on, we'll have the car up in the air. Alright guys, so I'm back. I got the car up on the ramps. The ramps that I'm using, you can get them from, I think, like AutoZone or something like that, or Discount Auto. There it is. The Rhino ramps is the brand. They're low profile, but again, my car still sits too low to actually drive up. I don't feel like taking my front bumper off every time I change my oil, so I have 2 floor jacks that I have. Where those were from Harbor Freight, so they're the Pittsburgh floor jacks. They're 3-ton floor jacks. They do a good job. But let me just show you kind of where I actually jack the car up and how it's set up. Sorry, I'm all breathing heavy. It's pretty hot in this garage right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and walk around and show you guys real quick. So it might be a little dark. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. Got the ISO pretty much all the way up. I might be able to get my light from my phone here in a second. Let me see if I can do that for you guys. See if that helps take the light from the iPhone. Not really helping, but I have the jack. It's placed underneath the like the subframe, and I have it lifted from both sides, and then back here I have the Rhino ramps. Just load it back down. Wheels kind of look like crap right now, so about that. I'll probably paint those. I did have them plasti dipped, so the dip came off, but there's still some spots here and there. Let me pop the hood here, which that's another thing I want to get. Sorry about that, showing you guys in here. Is I want to get the hood struts, so that way the Grimspeed, so I'm not sitting there like that having to put the hood prop up. Plus the hood prop gets in the way every time you work on your car. Here's the motor. Pretty much all stock. I mean, I know it doesn't look all stock. I got my fuel lines there. Those are the Perrin fuel lines. It's the version 1 fuel rails. I had a fuel leak, so I just went in and replaced those. Whenever I did my clutch, timing belt, and all that, went ahead and we did the coil radiator as well. You have the Samco Aftermath APS cold air intake, Perrin turbo inlet. I know the light sucks here, but it's stock turbo. That's just the STI intercooler, painted black. Has the Cusco strut tire bar brace, you want to call it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's pretty much stock. I mean, there's not a whole lot done to it. Has the Grimspeed phenolic spacers in there. Has the electronic boost control solenoid, the Grimspeed 3-port. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get it under the car, go ahead and get the actual bottom, I guess, splash guard, get that off, and then get underneath there the 17mm bolt to get to their actual drain. Again, the light sucks, but you can watch other YouTube videos. It's pretty easy. It's right under there. You can't miss it. It's right on the bottom of the oil pan. So if you can't do that, I mean, it's, like I said, it's pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and get under there, get the oil drained, and then button this back up and then gas it up, put the complete fuel system cleaner in there. But yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, anything like that, definitely like to see those below. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting this done, and maybe I'll do a short time lapse of it. Hey guys, and just real quick before I get this started, one thing I forgot to mention, I'm also doing, there's an oil drain plug gasket too. So let me see if you can get that part number. I just ripped the bag, but it's the 11126AA000. It's for the 04 STI, and that is for this guy right here, a little drain plug gasket. But I forgot to mention that and the things you'll need. That, obviously I have a standard, you know, where are you going to put the oil? You got to have one of them. And then also, as far as removing your old oil filter, I do have a plate. Usually I hand tighten them, so I don't really need this, but just in case, usually put the little thin layer of oil in there so it doesn't, you know, seize up. But anyways, just in case you need it, it's always good to have one of those lying around as well. And then obviously something to drain your oil into. So that I thought was kind of a given, but thought I'd show it anyways. Same thing with putting oil in, getting a funnel. Obviously everybody has one. So but anyways, I'm going to get the time lapse going and get this done. Alright, so I have my camera in one hand, so it's going to be some weird angles here, but I got a light so we could actually see this underneath the car here. So right there is your oil filter. So it sits right there. I have an oil pressure gauge in the car, so that extra piece you see there is an adapter. So that's where your oil filter is, and then over here, see if I can shine the light on it. Sorry about that. You can kind of see where the oil's slowly dripping out, and you can see the threads just look right on the left side of the light there. But you can see the hole there. If I back it up, just so you kind of see, that's the oil pan, and that's basically where you're draining your oil from. So just want to put that quickly on video, but I'm gonna get back to it. What I have to do is get the oil filter off, drain everything out of there, put the new oil filter on. Before I do that, I'm going to put the actual drain plug back in. I already have a fresh brush washer on it. And then you saw me wiping the floor there. I really didn't get a lot on the floor, as you can see. I just had a little splatter, so I just want to keep it nice and clean under there. I could have put something down. I know someone will probably comment that below, but I just wasn't really thinking there. Plus, usually I have latex gloves on, which of course I go to grab them and I'm all out. So I just grab one of my mechanics gloves real quick. So I can get oil in my hand. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and button this up on the bottom, drain, and get the oil filter off. And then after that, we'll go ahead and fill her back up, and we should be good to go. But let's do a quick video. And the other thing is, I'm kind of ticked. Looking under my car, a bag flew up underneath yesterday. So definitely can't see it, but way back there, you can see kind of the mid-pipe there. Has plastic all over it, so I'm going to try to scratch some of that off so it stops smelling like burnt plastic every time I turn my car on. But anyways, this is pretty much done draining, so I'm going to go ahead and get back to it and then update you guys here in a minute. Alright guys, so that was pretty easy. We're all done with that. So I went ahead and I buttoned up everything. Got rid of my oil, which I'll show you how I do that. So kind of over here, let me show you, or at least down there. You can see it's actually for printer ink, but that's where I store all of my oil. I believe it's like a, I want to say it's like an 8-gallon storage container, but it works really well. But just to kind of recap, what I did was change the oil 5 quarts, or maybe just a hair under 5 quarts. I don't think I put the full 5 in. But it was the Castrol 0W40. It's the European formula. I know there's a lot of different types of oil barrier what the Subaru community likes to run. In the past, I did the T6, which I liked, but then they changed the formula. And I actually ran, I think, about 3,000 miles on it. And I just didn't like the way my car was acting. I don't know if it was just me, or just knowing that they changed the formulation a little bit, but I just didn't really feel that it was running as good as it used to on it. So I went ahead and I thought I'd switch over to the 0W40 European formula. It's Castrol, which I like it. It ran good. It's not burning oil. I went in and I picked up an extra quart just in case. I checked it right around 2,500. Well, every 1,000 I checked it, but then I topped it off a little bit at 2,500. It really didn't burn. I think maybe a quarter of a quart. It wasn't a whole lot, if any. So the car's running good. And then I'm going to go stop by, put some of the Techron in there, because I do that every 3,000 miles. And usually I like to change my oil. I try to do it every 3,000. I'm not driving my car really hard, so sometimes I'll go up to the 3,750. But usually right around 3,000 I change it. It has right around 136,000 miles on it right now. And when I got it, it had about 60, 62, I think, on it. So it's relatively low miles when I got it 4 years ago. But anyways, I'll do another video, maybe in depth, going over the Subaru. This was just kind of, I had to change the oil, so I thought I'd just throw a quick video together for you guys. But until that next video, you guys take it easy.